So this is the current state of my 1980 K10. This was my first truck given to me by my grandpa when I was probably 15. First thing I did was I tried to put an intake manifold on it and somehow dropped something into the intake runner and destroyed that engine. So my dad and I rebuilt a 350 and threw it in. That new made power with the brand new engine and cam and heads and all that trashed the transmission. And being the 15, 16-year-old that I was, I didn't want to deal with it anymore, and I sold it back to my grandpa. My grandpa gave it to me, and I sold it back to him. True scumbag. I bought a Ford Ranger with that money, and I drove that for about 2 years, and then my dad bought me a Jeep Cherokee for a senior gift for high school. But then I left for the Marine Corps, and I spent 8 years over there and came back to Corpus. And I was working for O'Reilly's delivering parts, and I saw my grandpa's old truck in the back parking lot of a local shop, mom and pop shop. And so they had a $5 a day, I think it was $5 a day for abandoned vehicles, or vehicles that have had their work complete and you fail to pick it up. It's $5 a day after that. So I figured I didn't have enough money, and I kind of let it be. I told my grandpa where it was and everything. He still owned it, but he kind of like forgot about it. Super weird. Fast forward a couple years, 2.5 years, I got a better job and started making better money. And I thought I'd go back to him and ask what it would take to get that truck out, this truck out. And they told me pretty much, we love your grandpa, and we're not going to charge you to take it out. Just pay us for the fuel pump that we put in it, and you can take it home. So I did. It was cheap, super cheap. I think it was $120 for the parts and labor. Loaded it up, and I brought it home. I tried to fire the motor, and it was locked up. The hood was so rusted on it that that it leaked through the hood into the carburetor and hydrolocked the motor. I broke the motor free, and I got it running, and I bought a Holley sniper for it. I put the Holley sniper on, ran like crap, and I sent it back to Summit. I had this 5.3 Summit crate motor in my drift car, that one right there. And I thought, hell, I've done a LS swap on a square body before. I'll go ahead and do this one too. So I yanked it out, and I threw it in this truck. I'm running the same headers I used on my C10. They're 1302 LS1 Schoenfeld headers to V-band connection off the headers, and 3-inch straight back to Flowmaster FlowfX mufflers. They're pretty much a MagnaFlow knockoff if you really look at them. Another thing is the cab. This is the original cab. It's just rotted to absolute shit. So I couldn't run this cab. It's just, to get that working would be way too much work. So I bought a whole other truck. I paid $2,500 for an 83 K10, and I pulled the cab and bed off of it, and I'm parting this out now. It has a hood, fenders, all that. Motor runs, it's really a waste, honestly. The motor runs, goes into four-wheel drive, transfer case works, transmission shifts, brake works, whatever. So I'll be parting that out or selling it as a whole deal. But anyway, I bought a whole other truck and I swapped the cab onto it, cab and bed. But I left the front end. My grandpa had one request and he said, please leave that 80 front end on it. So we have that. Got to put new bezels and grill and all that. They're all broken and rotted and everything. I took this thing down totally to bare metal on the frame, axles, everything, new tie rod, new drag link, everything is new or redone. New body mounts. I don't have it bolted in. These are just shims to get the panels to line up and everything. New tires, simulated bead locks. My dad gave me a Turbo 350 that he had in his big block Blazer. I put that Turbo 350 in it from his Blazer. Works awesome. 2800 stall, Tom Woods drive shafts. Again, you can see the all new body mounts. This truck is pretty solid. It came out of West Texas. This is about the worst rust on the entire truck. And if you know square bodies, that is amazing. Dented door, I don't care, it gives it character. I have a new hood for it. I'm gonna build me a little tube winch bumper. Winch bumper. Anyway, I got a huge mess in this garage. We'll try to crank it up. It's hot. It doesn't like to start just off the key whenever it's hot. So I'll give it a shot. Let's see. I might have to give it some gas. We'll have to take it and get it tuned. I'm on Holley Terminator X, by the way. Hey, made a liar out of me. Little lean. That fuel pressure isn't accurate. I washed the motor and now it's reading fuel pressure. I probably got some water in the connection. But yeah, listen to that Summit crate motor, man. New hubs, brakes. I even recycled the electric fans out of my drift car, which are just kind of dummy wired up right now. I don't have them permanent. I wanted to see if they'd work and knock the temperature down, but man, they do awesome. I'm sure some people will comment about how that shroud doesn't cover the whole radiator, but it works. It knocks the temp down really good. By the way, this is a rough country 4-inch lift. It measured out to about 6.5. And those are 35s on it. So that's what a rough country 4-inch with 35s looks like. Maybe we can set the camera up and do a little rev. Nah, we're not gonna do it. That bumper is off an 80 C10 that I used to have. So I've kind of tied in a few trucks that I've owned together. It's pretty neat, I like it. I drove it around the yard today and it drives good. And I'm gonna clean all this up. Anyone who knows me personally knows I never leave it like this. She gets up, man. It's gonna be sick. Maybe too much for a daily. Anyway, that's it.